Thanks for tuning in. I am the Grin in GrinHouse, and I'm about to eat lunch and also explain to you guys um, the do's, really, not the don'ts, but I'm going to tell you the do's of surviving Parris Island and getting through your training at Parris Island. Now, um, I had the pleasure of spending 13 weeks on Parris Island, South Carolina, and uh, there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people talking about their experience from week to week, different things like that, what it was like for them, how they did things. Um, I'm gonna do things a little bit different because I was really big into vlogging, and I've been big into hip hop music actually, and battle rapping, and being active in my community. So I'm gonna give it to you from more of my perspective. When I was going in, I was a little older. When I went to boot camp, I was 25 years old. Going in, most guys going in are 18, 19, 20 maybe. There's a few older guys, but for the most part, that's going to be the majority of your platoon if you go in the summer. Usually it's younger kids because they're coming out of high school. If you go in the winter, usually it's some of the older people that are going in the winter. So I went in the summer. I was there, July, August, September, October, I guess. Yeah, July, August, September, October. And I really didn't know what to expect. I enlisted 3 weeks before I shipped to Parris Island. So a lot of people that go to Parris Island have been in the DEP program for over a year. But I had about 3 weeks. I enlisted, literally swore in at MEPS, and then 3 weeks later was on the bus headed to Parris Island. So my main pointers that I would give to anybody watching this video going into it: you definitely need to be in decent physical shape. Obviously, you want to, run and run some more. Run as much as you can just to get comfortable with running. Strength training, you don't have to be the biggest, strongest, toughest person to be able to get through. A lot more of the training, people say, oh, is it physically tough or is it mentally tough? It is way more mentally difficult than it is physically. And the thing that you'll probably have the biggest issue with are people within your platoon, honestly, having to be on the level of people within your platoon. So I'm going to give you like 4 or 5 things that I wish I would have known going in, that are going to help you if you take yourself seriously. You're going to be able to, be a squad leader or guide or have ability if you want one. But really, more importantly, it's going to make you a good Marine. And that's what you're shooting for. You're not shooting for... You can shoot for whatever you want, but at the end of the day, when you leave Parris Island, you need to be a good Marine, and that's ready to build on the foundation that they give you. Okay, so first thing that I will tell you, you're going to hear your recruiter tell you, be loud and move fast, right? Very true. That's all that the drill instructors will ask of you. But not even be loud. Okay, not even be loud. When you get there, first phase, first 6 weeks maybe you're there, scream for your life. Yeah, scream for your freaking life. Like don't wait for the people around you to be yelling. Be the one kid in the platoon that's just screaming. It's going to help you out a lot, and it's going to show your drill instructors that you want to be there, and it's going to just help elevate you and make things easier for you. You're going to have more opportunities if you just really scream and really yell and really move fast. It doesn't matter if you're hygiening in the morning, whatever you do, be the freaking first online. Do what you got to do. Go as fast as you can. That would be one thing I thought, because when I went through Parris Island, I didn't like to yell going to Parris Island. I was a goofy person. I really honestly didn't. I wasn't very serious when I went there, and they don't teach you things for no reason, right? So whereas it's just yelling and screaming, "Oh, you're a warfighter," it's really not for that. And you'll understand as time goes. I mean, it's for that, I guess, in a sense, but it's really not for that in the scheme of combat and what you need to do. So Scream. Scream for your life. Scream every day. Scream in response. Scream in the squad bay. Scream. Just scream. Don't just yell. Don't be loud. Scream. Okay, so that's the first thing I would say. Just definitely make sure you scream. Second thing, know where your stuff is located. Whether it's in your pack, whether it's in your footlocker, understand how you set things up. Have an order to how you set things up. Because when you have 30 seconds, 45 seconds to do something, you don't want to be that person that's freaking the only person struggling to be able to find, whatever they need to find. If you've got to get out, you've got to get out then. So just be prepared and understand where your stuff is. If you go in there and you understand the stuff that they give you, don't just get issued everything at supply issue and be like, oh, I got all this stuff. Understand like the purpose and functionality of each individual thing that you are issued, especially because when you leave, you turn all of it back in. And you don't want to be the guy that's like, I don't have this or I don't have this. I had all my stuff that got issued to me when I turned all my stuff back in. It just makes it easier, smooth sailing. You don't have to have any issues. That would be the second thing. Know where your things are. The third thing I'm going to tell you is you got to put out at PT. At PT, you have to put out. You'll do stations where you do like circuits with training. Now, my company that I was in, I don't know if it's different. I can really only speak for the 3rd Battalion people. I was in 3rd Battalion. So I can really only speak for 3rd Battalion. I really don't know 1st or 2nd Battalion how their PTs go. But for us, we did circuits, and where you do different stations. You're probably out there maybe 2 hours, if that, and you have to break yourself off because it's going to be a big difference between working out at home and working out on Parris Island with Marines around you. It's going to be way different. You can't really prepare yourself for it. There's not really anything you can do at home. One thing I did that really benefited me before I went, even though it was only really 3 weeks, I put 50 pounds in a backpack, and I used to walk like 2 or 3 miles like every other day. And the backpack was like cutting into my shoulders. It hurt so bad. But by the time I left, my back was a little bit stronger than when I went on the hikes. Things weren't that bad. I mean, I'm 6 foot, but a lot of the shorter people, if you're under like 5'7", you might have trouble on the hikes. So just build your strength up before you get there, so you're not freaking falling out on a hike, having to have someone carry your pack or your weapon. You don't want that. So that would really be the third thing. Put out at PT. That way you really do make a difference, and it's also going to follow you throughout your career in the Marine Corps. Like how much you're willing to put out is really physically how far you're going to be able to push yourself and get yourself. Like at first, I was like PT in the first like 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I was like, man, this is tough. Like, this is like, I don't want to run today. I don't want to do these things. But then towards the middle of training, I was like, let's go. I'm ready to break myself off and try as hard as I can, because your body always comes back stronger. Same with losing your voice. Don't be like, I lost my voice, I can't scream. You can scream with a lost voice. And beyond that, it's going to come back stronger, and you're going to be faster and better, more consistent. So that would be the third thing. Put out a PT. That's a big thing. Fourth thing that I would say would be you need to listen. You need to listen specifically to what your drill instructors say, because there's going to be so many instances where the drill instructors come out and they explain something and what they want it done, how they want it done, and then there's going to be 3 people in your platoon that ask the same thing that they just said. Like, I can't tell you how many times that happened. I was just like, this is amazing. So the fourth thing would be listen. Listen to what they're saying, and soak in the knowledge. The Marines that are training you at Parris Island are like the top 10% of the Marine Corps. You're going to have an experience there where you have to realize like you are around some of the best military men in the United States Armed Forces. And I knew that going in because I was a little bit older, but even then, this kind of feeds into my fifth point. Fourth point is just listen and be particular with understanding what people are saying. Don't just respond and be a robot. Understand what they want from you and understand how to act and carry yourself. The fifth one is carry yourself like a Marine the day that you get there. There's phases. You do different events. But if you go in there and you understand what you're pursuing and earning the title, and you soak up the information from the people around you, you will be so much better off than trying to skate by. And it's going to be challenging, but you have to push yourself and you have to be the best possible United States Marine that you can be, because that's the way the future of the Corps is going to improve. They're at a point where the people training you, they're training you to take their jobs at one point down the line. 1, 2 people in your platoon, 1, 3, 4 people in your company are going to return to Parris Island to be drill instructors. So soak it in, be focused, be loud. I can't really remember them in order, but be loud, scream, be loud, move fast. Second thing, I'm not sure what I said the second thing was. Second thing is put out at PT. Third thing was know where your things are. Fourth thing, listen to what they ask of you specifically. And the fifth thing being act the part. You're going to be a United States Marine, be a United States Marine in first phase. Be the person in your platoon that's doing exactly what they need to do and executing things the way that they need to do it. That doesn't necessarily mean be the kid who's telling everyone to shut up all the time. Enough people say shut up. You're going to hear shut up. I heard shut up more in boot camp than I've heard it in my entire life. So that wasn't my angle. I was the lay reader for my platoon, so I was more trying to spiritually uplift people and trying to encourage people and maybe comic relief. Just work hard, do what you have to do, keep your mouth shut, and everything's going to be fine. You're going to be able to do everything. You're going to learn so much, and you're going to leave Parris Island to basically train Marine. So I'm the Grin and GrinHouse. If you have any questions at all, please submit them. I am the head of the School of Infantry to MCT, and so might be a couple, weeks until I'm back on here. But once I get back on here, I'm going to be hopefully answering questions and just updating a lot more on the process that goes in, maybe specific stories of boot camp, things like that, just to explain, Marine Corps recruit training more in depth. So thank you for tuning in. If you are headed out, if you've got a ship date, that's great. Semper Fi, good luck, earn the title. It's so worth it. If you don't have a ship date, go talk to a recruiter, get in shape, get within weight and height regulations, and do what you got to do. So until next time, the Grin and GrinHouse, Semper Fi.